Hi, welcome to my website. I thought to do this short film as a means of an introduction to myself, to talk about the music that I've written, and to talk about some of the artists that have influenced me over the years. I suppose the interest in music for me started when I was about 9 or 10. I wrote 3 songs called, and I remember them to this day, Speedway Rider, They Call Me the Moon Man and Moonlight. They were awful songs, but that was the base for my start in music. Rather foolishly, myself and my brother Andy and 2 girls that lived in the same avenue as us decided to put on a bit of a concert for the avenue, and we sung these 3 songs and also a cover version of a Wombles song. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that, in my teens I then started, like any other teen really, buying records. The first records I bought 2 singles on the same day when it was my birthday, was Squeeze Me Please Me by Slade and I Love You Love Me Love by Gary Glitter. Over the next few years I'd build up a record collection of all sorts, but it was in 1979 when things really changed for me on the music front. I was watching Top of the Pops like every kid did on a Thursday night, and heard a superb record called Our Friends Electric by Tubeway Army. As everybody knows, Tubeway Army was fronted by Gary Numan. I was fascinated with his music. I then started listening to interviews he did on radio and television, and he started talking about some of the influences he had, and they were bands like Ultravox and Kraftwerk. Naturally, I had to go out and buy their records and listen to them myself and find out what all the fuss was about. I bought Man Machine by Kraftwerk, and when I first listened to it I was completely blown away. The next album I bought was one by Ultravox called Systems of Romance. Ultravox then were fronted by John Foxx, and the album to this day is one of my favourite albums. I say John Foxx fronted Ultravox and then went solo, and he brought out an album in 1980 called Metamatic, which was incredible, and again it's still one of my favourite albums to this day. From then I started building up a really good record collection and CD collection of 80s music from artists like Erasure, Depeche Mode, OMD and the Pet Shop Boys. 2 of the bands there were a big influence, or were to become a big influence, in some of the early songs I wrote, OMD and Erasure. I think Vince Clarke is one of the best musicians around. The melodies he makes for a song are just unbelievable. By the late 80s I thought, well, I want to start writing some music myself, and I bought a couple of cheap keyboards, and I thought, right, I'm going to sit down, have a mess about with them and try and write some songs. A friend of mine at that time, Ray Norton, said, hey, I'd like to get involved with this. So one day a week we'd get together and write songs and record them. We a little studio band then, and we just called ourselves Skin Deep, but it was purely a studio band. But we wrote about 20 songs in total, so that was pretty good, and that was in a 12-month, 18-month period. From then I met up with another lad called Matthew Adcock, who was in a band who played in a local pub that we visited at that time, and did a music session with him where we recorded 2 songs, Situation and a song called Can't Get Over You, and we also did a cover version of OMD's Of All the Things We've Made. We didn't do much more after that, so I took a bit of a break from doing music because I was pretty much doing it all the time for a 2-year period. By the late 90s I decided again to dust down the synthesizers, bought some new equipment, new keyboards, and I wanted to re-record some of the older stuff we'd done because the recordings were very poor, and they came out really good. I was really impressed with them. Obviously by then I'd got used to using a computer and sequencers for my music, so the music I was creating was a lot more elaborate. I also wrote some new songs as well on the keyboards, again in the vein of synth pop, and a lot of it in a style of orchestral manoeuvres in the dark, OMD. I also then in the late 90s started to get to grips with samples and loops, and it fascinated me that, because you start with a blank canvas and you've got all these samples to work with. I then did about 7 CDs of albums in the vein of trance music, dance music and some chill out stuff. The trance and dance music was very much influenced by artists like DJ Sammy, Ian Van Dahl, and other sort of Belgium, German, the Netherlands trance music. I then went back to the synthesizing around about 2003 and decided to record some more musics and really enjoyed it, and also re-recorded again some older stuff because I'd upgraded my keyboards again and was starting to work with a PC. Pretty much then I've concentrated on keyboards, synthesizers, and the latest project I'm working on is a collection of ambient songs, which will go on a CD called Where Do We Go From Here. 15 songs I've recorded, they need mixing, 6 or 7 of them are complete. 3 songs I decided to send to the BBC for a new talent competition they were running. They were The Long Goodbye, Quiet Splendour and Broken Flowers. I'm still working on that material and also working again with some sample based music. But for now, I do hope you enjoy the website and you enjoy the music that's on it. And please, if you enjoy the music, pass a comment. The music will be updated on a regular basis. I'll update the site on a regular basis, so it's definitely worth popping back from time to time. Thanks for listening anyway.